Welcome to the Carlson Collective. My name's Logan Carlson, and this is my wife.
I'm Kristen Carlson. Hi, everyone.
And we're conscious living beings that we want to have real conversations exploring our past lives with marriage and success and failures and the systems and everything that we've applied to better our lives and our marriage. We want to hopefully help you do better to yours.
Yeah. And we're tying it into Valentine's Day. So for our first premiere podcast, that's why we chose this topic was love. So not just marriage, but relationships as a whole. And also, most importantly, self-love, which we'll
Yes.
talk about in a little bit.
Yep. So, give you a little brief background about us. Our idea here is that we're not a typical self-help podcast. We're two people navigating growth together, sharing what's working and what's not, bringing along for honest discussions, and optimizing things from our body, mind, spirit, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
So, my background is I'm in IT and AI consulting. I also do fitness, wellness, spirituality, mentorship.
I couldn't tell that you're into
I
fitness.
know, right? It's like 18 years of lifting and fitness has been a huge part of our life, actually part of our lives, because we've been doing this since we've been together. It's actually how we met, was through the gym.
Mm-hmm.
One of my really good friends, Todd Lee, got us in together, and Stacy Morgan, and got almost 18 years ago, 17 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been uphill ever since then.
Yes, it has.
So what about you, baby? What about you?
So my name's Kristen Carlson. Everybody knows me as Mrs. Vino, and when I'm not talking wine and being a sommelier, I'm very much into health and wellness. So our lifestyles, as Logan had mentioned, we met in the fitness world. So that's always been a foundation and staple of our lives together and then also individually. So that kind of falls into the self-love aspect. So I do wine consulting mainly in Detroit. And then I also work for a company called Little Saints that has non-alcoholic, sugar-free functional mushrooms, which is not sponsored, but will always be in my pocket. So that's pretty much what I do. And hobby wise, that falls into the healthy lifestyle. We have a huge garden.
Yes.
So lots of organic gardening. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here and excited to finally do this because this is something that we've talked about for quite some time.
Very long time. Yep. Yeah, the main point that we want to get with this is talking about what it actually means to have a partnership and a marriage. With the failure rates of marriages now, what is it, over 50%, I think. Something has to work when we've been going on for as long as we have.
I don't know what it is.
I know, right? We're going to find out. That's what we're going to talk about. And it's also, I think, moving away from the commercialized idea or fantasy of what most marriages are, especially when it comes to Valentine's Day. It's very commercialized, can be very tacky. I mean, I think for most guys, it's buying the flowers, buying the card and chocolates, and then we call it a day, where the women, they want a little bit more spoof in their life. So it's definitely very important for us. So going into this, our first thing we really want to get into is the reality check of Valentine's Day. I guess really what it means for you, the audience, and then what it means for us. So for you, babe, what is the main thing that Valentine's really has meant for you?
Well, other than it being, yes, it is commercialized, but also his rooted history and Saint Valentine. But for me, it's a day it's at least one day, it should be every day of loving the relationship that you are in, even if it's not another human being and it's just yourself. So, self-love is a big part of being able to share your love. So for me, Valentine's Day, to be quite honest, I just expect some orchids and then I'll buy myself wine because I am Mrs. Vino and I know how to choose the wine.
Yep, I'm always trying to find those discount flowers. I think there was actually a year where I bought Kristen, I think they were dollar roses.
Yes.
And
oh yeah.
We were at Kroger and they had, I think, like $4 or $5 I bought these roses for. She planted them and that thing turned into a monster.
Yeah.
It's been going on, God, how many years now
we've been in that house for 8 years.
Yeah, and it's still going strong. We've had to trim that thing down crazy.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, you don't have to break the bank. That's where I see a lot of people where the more money you can throw into it, the more you need to buy. It's not always necessary. It's really the intention that you're putting behind your gift.
Yes.
I've really prized myself on putting good intention behind the things that I buy. I don't like to just buy tacky things or just the thing that seems the right, like just chocolates. For me, it's I've which coming from you, I actually got into poetry and writing,
Mm-hmm.
and back when I was actually in college, and it was a huge part of blowing that creative side of me up and
Yeah.
giving more of my love intuitively through that. So
Yes, and that's honestly, so I forgot about that. I forgot, that's one of the biggest driving factors of Valentine's Day. I always expect, but I always get love letters and notes from you, not just on Valentine's Day. It's just sprinkled throughout the year.
mhm.
And people wouldn't know that looking at you. One, being an IT, two,
Yeah, no,
being a bodybuilder, three, you are extremely creative, and you
well,
are a romantic at heart. And I probably keep that private because I don't want to brag, but now I have to
you have to
brag.
share, yeah.
And I have a whole binder at home of our love notes
Mm,
because you've written me a lot of love notes. I've written ones to you.
yep.
So,
And it means a lot. Like I said, little works like that where I take the time to put the intention behind the writing that I'm doing. What's the message I'm trying to give her, and try to be as creative and whimsical as I can, because that part of me came out because of you. So
oh, thanks,
I
baby.
think the important thing of marriage is bringing out those creative aspects of what does this person love to do, if they're really into arts and crafts, if they're really into, like for you, gardening,
Mm-hmm.
giving, like if I bought you a bunch of seeds and you were,
Oh, yeah.
that
I
would,
like
yeah,
that.
see, I know you very well. But it could also go into the other aspect too, where you have the movies, the music, you know, I mean, we do a lot of romance, like the movie side of things, but
Hmm.
it's been, I'm not really into the Hallmark Channel kind of stuff. That's just never been
Oh,
my
no,
thing.
neither am I. That's why we're together so
Yeah,
long.
we like the kind of the classical ones that go into it. So
Mm-hmm.
it just depends. But um it really is, I think, a commercialized mess nowadays where again, just trying to be quick and easy, buying the best thing. And for me, I think most women just want something that the man put some time and attention into something. And again, you can make it, you can write it, you can get a piece of paper and handwrite your note. It doesn't matter. You
Mm-hmm.
put effort into it. Whereas if you just bought some card and you signed your name on it, I don't think your significant other is going to be very happy about it. So
Well, that's like these beads that you got me from
the prayer
Amsterdam.
beads, yep.
Yeah, you got me these prayer beads overseas.
Well, and the reason I got you those was because yours broke, and I
Mhm.
happened to be in a store in Amsterdam, and
Yeah.
this guy was an ex-business mogul. He owned a AI consulting company and sold it, made tons of money, and then bought a shop literally right next to an old cathedral. It was like a 400-year-old cathedral,
Oh my
and
gosh.
go in and I see those beads and it was your colors, and
Mhm.
I was like, I have to buy this. And I think that's also the point, like not just going into a store and buying the thing that you see, like feel it, smell it, even
Mhm.
what is, and then what's the purpose behind it. Sometimes you have this intuitive feeling that I'm going to buy this for somebody, I don't know who it's for, what it, like the
Oh
reason
yeah, I
behind
do
it.
that all the time.
And when that person arises, that gift has that much more meaning behind it.
Mhm.
So that was kind of the reason, yeah, I got you those. And again, spirituality and prayer is a huge part of us. That's a
Yes.
huge aspect.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's definitely falls under the self-love, how do you practice self-love? Tell everyone about your morning routine because I think that's important.
oh gosh. So I I have this idea, or I got this actually idea from Tony Robbins. It's priming your mornings,
Mm.
and basically you're setting up your morning for success in a way where I will wake up, I will do breath work, usually like a Wim Hof breath work meditation,
Mhm.
then my actual meditation, prayer, and then I
Mhm.
go into my journaling. Usually when I journal, I have a sunlight because I'm up at 4 in the morning. So there's no sun up right now
Hard
at that time.
worker.
Yeah. And I've always been a morning person. Some people are night owls. I'm falling asleep at seven
We like
o'clock.
our sleep.
Yeah, I'm very much so.
Mhm.
And I think that doing that sets up my mood, my energy for the day to where I can then tackle it. I'm more aware, I'm more awake. It's this idea that if you're trying to aim to be the person that you want to be, what does that person do? What are the habits, routines, structures that you need to build? And then you apply that and you become that version that you want to be.
Mhm.
So that's the way I like to look at it, where it's getting both those together. And even you have your morning routine, which
I do.
again, very similar. You have your journaling and
Yeah, so I journal, I meditate, tea for an hour before I have my coffee because we're such health nuts and we're constantly consuming information from various individuals online that we look up to and rooted in science. So yeah, that's part of my morning routine. The my most favorite routine, obviously, for both you and I, is the gym, separately and together.
yes.
But the sauna,
Oh
I
yeah.
love the sauna. So that honestly, I have a couple different meditation playlists that I have, some that are guided, some that are just, the singing bowls and the whoa, 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 whoa. And I'm in the sauna, half naked with all my oils on. And I think some women get a little, they're like, oh my gosh, what is this woman doing? But I'm in there, I'm praying, I'm breathing,
You're
got
doing
my
your thing.
headphones on, I've got I'm priming my entire day for being in that sauna for 20 minutes, sweating it out. And that honestly, that has been such a huge driving factor to my success and my like mental clarity, in addition to just the setting of our home,
Yes.
having that nice calming, ambiance music. Lucy, our fur baby there, she gives us really good dog energy. So yeah, priming our mornings and practicing the self-love um, preps us for, you know, coming together and sharing that collective love.
Well, and it goes into a point where you have to have individual work in order to make a
Mhm.
relationship work. There has to be a level of self-love to then love someone. If you're not loving yourself, you're not going to be able to love your partner the same way.
Mhm.
So whatever that morning routine is, like for me, it's I'm a little of a nut where I talked about like doing the Wim Hof breathing. I like to do the cold exposure. I haven't been doing the cold plunge as much as I used to, but
Yeah, I know it's been sitting in the
I
yard.
know I got to redo that. But I actually had I've been doing the cold exposure though, where I literally will go out with, if the dog wants to actually go out with me if it's too cold, but I'll be out with
She's
just,
old.
she's older, she's pampered, but I'll go out in just shorts and shoes and nothing else and get that. And I used to be able to go maybe 10 minutes and I'd be frozen. But as I've gotten into the breath work and controlling the energy that I'm giving, I can do almost 2 miles and like my fingertips aren't changing cold, like temperature, my toes,
Mhm.
everything like that. So it's whatever thing is going to make you that much better of a version of yourself. That's the thing you need to apply. And sometimes it's just experimenting because you got to try different things to see what sticks.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with meditation. It's not about controlling the thoughts, it's allowing your thoughts to flow and not necessarily attaching an emotion to them.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can latch onto a thought and then you can go deeper into it. That's where the journaling comes into play.
Mhm.
But less than that, it can also be just letting the thoughts flow. And I think most people struggle being in their own heads for long periods of time.
Yeah.
We're distracted by social media, we're distracted by instant
Mhm.
gratification. It's quick, quick, quick.
Oh, and that's the thing for you and I both in the morning. There are no phones or
Yep.
technology for, I mean, at least for me, it's like an hour and an hour and a
Well,
half. I
that's,
don't even turn my phone on. I just have the ambiance music on the television and I'm journaling.
yeah. You have to.
Mhm.
You going immediately to social media or something that's going to prime your morning, and it could be stressful, it could be hectic, or you're comparing to other lives or other people. So setting up your emotional state to what you want the day to be, and you can go do those things later on in the day. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
very. I mean, we don't even sleep with the phones in our room. I
Oh no.
I bought an old analog clock because I didn't want to have the stupid thing by my head.
Yeah, and that's why you got me this EMF modulator.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. I wear it all the time.
Got to make positivity where we can.
Yeah, exactly. Every little bit helps.
You know, I think if you could attune to one thing that has really impacted you to make you more aligned with what you want with yourself, what would you think that one thing is? Like the one habit that like, I have to do this thing every morning or else my day does not flow to the way I want it to.
Well, it's definitely, I think, my entire morning routine. It's not having the phone on,
Mhm.
tea, journaling, meditation for at least an hour and a half. And then uh, for me, it's, the gym 5 days a week and sauna 5 days a week.
Yep.
Those are the things that I have
You
to
need the
have.
fitness aspect of it. I
I
mean,
have to have movement and the music. It's honestly, for me, a lot of it's music because you and our relationship is very music driven.
yes.
So part of being at the gym is, those awesome new headphones that you got me. They have the bass in
Oh, the
them.
skull candies.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, those are incredible. So that's all part of it. It's my physical movement, it's the music, it's also a little bit of socializing, just saying hi to people just very quickly, keeping my heart rate up, and then like my candy, my treat, my dessert at the end of my hour and a half of fitness, it's being in the sauna for 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, we're physical movement is going. We're energetic beings. So
Mhm.
being able to move, it's the idea that if you've ever sat down, you tend to ruminate more often than not. But if you need to
Mhm.
change your energy or your state of what you're doing, walking around the room, doing something else, taking a break and going outside for a few minutes and coming back, it can make you that much more creative. So your
Mhm.
movement is everything. And I think, especially for guys, it's very important to understand that we are physical first
Mm.
more often than not
Mm.
every time, but more
Mhm.
often. And I think having something to exert to, and again, it doesn't have to be the gym. Gym is that's my life and I love
Yeah.
it, but it could be biking, swimming, whatever, jogging, go out, just as long as you're doing something to exert. I
Mhm.
have found that, especially when we had COVID, oh
Oh
God, and the
gosh.
gym's closed, you couldn't go do anything. You were about to kill me because I had nowhere. I was like doing pull-ups on our lawn pole that we had in our backyard. And
Yeah.
I think I even had, what was it?
And then you had the Home Depot 5-gallon buckets that you filled with
And I was
rocks.
using a lawn chair to bench on.
Yeah, and you were using my lawn chair, which still is bent to this day, ladies, but it's still
It
functional.
works.
It still works. It's okay. It's just a lawn chair.
But yeah, I think you have to find something, especially for a guy, that at least for men, at least in my experience, there has to be some kind of exertion.
Mhm.
Um, because and also too, I think the dopamine and you get dopamine, epinephrine, you get all these different hormones that are going to release to you based off what you're doing. And I think that having some way to channel that, and then when I come home, then I'm calmer, I'm more focused,
Mhm.
I'm present for you more often than not.
Yes.
And I think that's very important. Whereas if I have all this energy and I have nowhere to get it out,
Mhm.
you are like, you need to get the get the f away from me because you're going to kill me.
Well,
So,
it's like a child.
yep.
You have to yeah, you have to do something. You have to get out.
I mean, do you think that I always wonder too, like, people that struggle with marriage over time or even with relationships over time, it comes down to needing therapy and needing like intervention. And I think the thing that I've learned over the 15 years or 16 years with you is it's thinking what's best for you. We're always about the self first and the
Mm.
other person second. I think if you reverse that, what is the best thing that I could do to make you the happiest and most efficient version of you, or the
Mm.
best version of you that you can be, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's giving that love. So especially in arguments or times of tension, you're always thinking, I'm right, you're wrong. This is what
I'm
I
very
believe.
stubborn.
We're
You
both
are too.
Everyone is stubborn. I think that's the problem, is that we get to become more malleable over time. So I think
Mm.
having that understanding that you need to be a little bit more understanding of the other person and understanding that they don't see everything the way you do.
Right.
And that's the point. And
Yes.
it challenges you to get out of your own head and to
Mhm.
then maybe have a little bit of humility and say, you know what? She's right on this, or maybe I didn't see it from her perspective, or
Mhm.
she didn't see it from my perspective.
Yeah.
So it's having that space to be flexible.
Well, it's very yin and yang. It's masculine and feminine.
Yes.
You have to have softness, and then you also need to have, some hardness when it comes to a relationship, and you have to balance one another out.
Yes.
It's very important.
And you've only met your partner as well as you've met yourself. So if you're emotionally vulnerable or you have a lot of let's say trauma or something that you haven't dealt
Mhm.
with, you can suppress that, but it's always going to come. It's like a rubber band effect. You keep pulling and tension, it's
Yes.
going to drive you back, and that
Yeah.
will cause tension in your relationship.
Mhm.
So, which do you think we've ever had anything that was very, hmm, very tense in terms of like personal issues or things of that
Ooh,
nature?
you're putting me on the spot.
I am.
I think it's just it always comes down to finances, honestly.
Money's a hard one.
Yeah, money is a hard one, but everybody struggles with that, even individually,
Mhm.
right? So we've learned to come up with tools, like that one app that you found,
Oh,
where Monarch,
Monarch. Yep.
that we're working together on, so that there's just more, communication, clarity. There's more for me being a woman, knowing that everything's okay, everything is taken care of. And then for you, very analytical, masculine, making sure that, where are all the finances going? Where is all the money going to? And is everything taken care of? Because I want to make sure that Kristen is okay,
Hmm.
so that, there's no fighting or arguing.
Well, and this comes down to a really good point, actually, is because men are generally more analytical and women are
Mhm.
more emotional beings.
Yes.
Men are very, at least for me, I'm very much the like that. If you're upset or something's broken or wrong, what is the problem? How can I fix it?
Mm.
And generally speaking, it's not the thing that you want fixed. It's just I want a hug or I just want to
Yes.
be held.
Yep.
And that's the thing that I've struggled with over time because I'm like, what's the problem? All right, here it is. This is what you need to do to fix it. And you're like, no, I just need you to hug me and
Yep.
shut up. That's all
That's
I
it.
want. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's very simple. At least for me. Sometimes it's simple.
Well, and I think too, that comes down again to self-love and that respect for
Mm.
yourself. And because if one person's leveling up, the other person has the opportunity to grow as well. But
Yes.
if we're not individually working on ourselves and understanding that, we're at different levels maybe, or even different
Yeah.
spaces that
Okay. So, not to interrupt, but a point of tension, contention in our relationship was exactly that. Where you were leveling up, or I was leveling up, and you weren't, or I wasn't.
right.
Like, well, it was during COVID. That was like when I was at my heaviest. I was drinking, I was smoking, I wasn't going to the gym. And that's how you and I started our relationship, was at the gym,
Yeah.
because I was just so focused on uh my work and the new industry that I was getting into, and being such a masculine force, coming from the corporate IT world that was very male dominated. So I
Hmm.
always felt like I needed to be a little bit more aggressive in everything. So I pushed aside eating healthy and not going to the gym and not taking care of myself. And I remember you had expressed, concern for that. And it wasn't until I, decided to really start loving myself, and, intermittent fasting, reducing the drinking, quitting the smoking, going to the gym, and then reconnecting with you at the gym, which is where we originally had fallen in love. And that was the basis of our
it was a
relationship.
That was a very hard thing, yeah, because being such in the physical space or that physical realm,
Mm-hmm.
and you are a representation of me and vice versa.
Yes.
So the fact that you weren't there for me is like, I'm such a healthy, fit person that
We were it was almost like,
there was tension.
yeah, and it was like, it was a mismatch
Yeah,
for a
very much.
while.
Yep. But I could not force that on you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want you to do something you didn't want to do, but
Mm-hmm.
also I knew you were struggling. And again, how do I fix that? But
Yeah.
sometimes you can't fix the other person. They have to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very tense part of our time. And I think it's also respecting each person's process, understanding that you're on a different path than I am, but we're
Yes.
both aiming towards the same thing. It's just we're going in a different way about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. And sometimes things don't always work out. Things you may have a different goal with yourself, with your life, or vice versa. And
Yeah.
you have to be okay to be malleable in that. But sometimes that can break a relationship, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I wonder too, do you find that now that you're in the mushroom world, little saints, you're giving healthy, libacious options
Mm.
outside of alcohol and spirits and all that thing,
Mm.
how that's transformed
Oh,
you.
big time. Big time. So, 2024, when I wrote that non-alcoholic article for a little local magazine, and, really diving into more of the alcoholic alternatives that are out there that had functionality to them, really aligned with my herbalism and Ayurveda background, the organic gardening, you know, eating and cooking for you all organic, grass-fed, free range, wild
Huge.
caught.
Yep.
So this was just another thing to add into not just my lifestyle, but yours as well. And I've been blessed to be able to manifest, this position with this amazing company because they're rooted in, pun intended, rooted in, offering something that is good for you.
Yep.
And not to say that, I'm giving up wine altogether. I mean, I'm Mrs. Vino. How could I? But focusing on, the botanicals, the fungi, alongside even wine. There's stories behind, those grape varietals. Like some of them are, some of them almost went extinct. And talking about those varietals and the families that are harvesting, hand harvesting, fifth generation, and using regenerative and sustainable practices, that all falls into who I am. That's who Kristen is. I'm really focused on what Mother Earth gives us, and utilizing all of that to enhance our lives individually and collective. That's why I love, I'm a foodie. When Chef
You're a
Matt and I,
chef.
yeah, when Chef Matt and I, when we do, our private little in-home dinners that we have, I mean, his craft is incredible because he has passion behind it.
Yep.
So I think anything that you have passion behind is the key to life. So yeah, going back to, how, mushrooms, Little Saints specifically, has, really impacted my life and then impacted yours in a positive way. I mean, it's exponential. It's just beginning.
And very much so, because I the NA space for me was very
I know you tried so many samples from all over the
and a
world.
lot of them were not that good. But I will say, when you got to Little Saints, I loved the RTDs. I liked the Saint Ember, Saint Juniper,
Mhm.
and now Saint Oak, that has more
Yeah.
of like the whiskey side of things.
Whiskey, yeah.
And even for me, like as I've grown on my path, I've gotten away from alcohol a lot, because to
Yeah.
me it does come down to I view it sometimes as a poison, but
Mhm.
I think it also depends on the intention. Like
It's
if I,
intentional.
yeah,
Yeah.
because if my intention is like, we're gonna have a bonfire, sit outside, listen
Yes.
to music or something,
Yes.
I want to have a glass of scotch and I want to have a
Mhm.
cigar, but I'm
Yes.
not doing that every night.
Right.
And so I think that balance is very, very important.
Yeah, and it makes it special, and it makes those really, really, really 25-year-old scotches that are super
Much better.
expensive last a lot
Oh, we
longer.
have a lot. Yeah, it's definitely been. I mean, and I think even for me, the hard thing for you was, I was very much into marijuana and weed, and it
Mhm.
wasn't that I was all day, but like at night, that was like my 5 o'clock happy hour.
Yeah,
And it would
yeah.
also, but the problem I know for you was that it was very numbing for me, so I wasn't always present.
Mhm.
And I think from my perspective, it was very much coping with the things I wasn't dealing with in my life. And now
Mhm.
that I've had control over that, like I still have a joint every once in a while, but it's under a certain circumstance. It's not,
Yes.
it's the thing is not controlling my life or what I'm
Right.
doing. I'm
Yeah.
I'm having a set environment that I'm doing this in, and you're
Mhm.
usually there with me.
Same.
And it's the same thing with the wine and alcohol
Yeah.
with you. You've been very much better with not having to have it every night and having more
Right.
control over it. And for me, because like I don't want you to have it every night. Not
Yeah.
only just for it for you, it doesn't always change a lot of who you are, because you're not getting like, gone with your drinking, but
Yeah.
it's the health aspects. I want
Yes.
you to be as pure and clean as you can, and
Yeah.
having the most healthy sleep, because you're not going to get to the deep REM
Oh
sleep. And
yeah, because this right here, anybody who wears, an Aura ring or a fitness tracker, that has been key to specifically like when I'm making non-alcoholic cocktails at home.
yep.
And at night, I'll make us a couple or I'll grab you a couple cans. I get the best sleep. It's
Yes.
great.
Yeah, and that's honestly the thing for me was the weed, because
I
I was
know.
not I when I quit, it was the hardest thing for me to come to terms that I wasn't dreaming. I had I
Yeah.
had probably
Yeah,
I'd
that's
I'd
right.
probably gone
Like years.
years without actually having deep dreams, and then I was having vivid dreams,
I
and they were
know.
actually kind of traumatic in some of them. But once I got through that phase, I realized waking up, I wasn't foggy,
Yeah.
I wasn't groggy, I was focused, and
Mhm.
then when I would prime my morning, I would be much more at attack mode and
Yes.
productive.
Yep.
So that was, for me, it was everything.
I know. I'm so glad that you're dreaming again.
Yeah,
I mean, I know sometimes you have like nightmares like
that's
I
okay.
do,
It's okay.
but you're still you wake up and you're like, "Oh my god, you wouldn't believe the scenario that just happened in my head last
Well,
night."
and actually, my really good friend, best friend Ahmed, he got me into this. It's a dream state where you have a dream journal, and you're getting to a state where you actually can control the dream.
Oh,
and it's
lucid
lucid
dreaming.
dreaming. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm still not. I'm learning more about it. I'm getting more into it, but it's kind of insane that something I thought that it was not in my control
Mm.
actually is,
Yeah.
and then it can then dramatically change your day, your mood,
Yeah.
everything. So it's very very interesting.
Yeah. No, there's a couple good documentaries on YouTube. You know, the Gaia
Oh
app.
God, yeah,
Yeah.
love Gaia.
I love that Gaia app. But yeah, lucid dreaming. Let's start playing around with that.
Well, and again, that leads to for the audience, it's very important that if you're having a lot of repetitive nightmares or a lot of repetitive things that are happening in your life, whether it's past trauma that keeps coming up or stress at work, stress with your
Mhm.
relationship, you need to one meditate and journal these things. For
Yeah.
guys, it's a kind of an odd space for us to have to write these things out, but I find that for most men, if you sit down and start journaling your thoughts, and
Mhm.
the key that I will tell most is this: when you're journaling, write everything down, even if it's complete gibberish to if
Yeah.
it's something intentional. And then if you want, go into deeper parts of that dream that you're having. It's
Mhm.
getting it out of here and into something physical that you can then reevaluate. And your process, there's parts of your brain that are moving and processing that allows you to go through those things and get through them. And for us, we have a lot of the things where we're discussing these things. You know,
Mhm.
you
In the
in the
morning,
morning,
yeah.
and we'll sit down and have a cup of coffee and like, what was your
Yeah,
dream and what was my
this
dream?
morning,
And
we're not gonna talk about mine, but, like, this morning, I'm like, "Oh my god, I had the most vivid dream again about, that person," and you're
yep.
just like, "Why?" And then I talk about it, get it out, and then it's done.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, for us, it was the not to get into it, but it was like the whole Epstein stuff, and we just watched Eyes Wide
Oh
Shut with
god.
Tom Cruise, and then you were having similar like nightmares about
Yeah,
that,
it
and then
was
we were talking about it.
weird.
And I'm like, all right, we can stop watching some of these movies because it
Yeah,
gets
I know, we
causing
need to yeah,
problems.
let's watch some of our favorite movies,
Yes.
like, Secret Garden
Well,
or
that was actually a thing because when we did our wedding,
Howl's Moving Castle.
I will say this: the one thing that I brought to our relationship, I think more so, not that you were into film,
Mm,
but my family is a big film family. We watch a
yeah.
lot of movies because growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so it came to be Friday nights. We get like a pizza and we go to
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, or it was Family Video or whatever it was back in the day. We'd
Yeah.
pick a movie and we'd all sit down and have time together. When we got together, you were blown away at how many movies that we watch. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite insane, actually. I mean, but that led into one of my passions is movie scores and
Oh,
soundtracks
yes.
because we play this game where
I love our game.
it's our music game where I'll literally play a snippet of different movie scores and she has to guess the movie or I have to guess it. And we'll give
Mhm.
clues as to like the actor or the director or when it came out or the theme or
Mhm.
genre or whatever it is. And that led into our wedding actually, because
Yeah.
I worked with you on curating a custom music list.
Yeah.
And one of the when you came the ambiance that we set for our wedding was if anybody had seen it, was Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and the
I
score to that
love
film
that
is
movie.
incredible.
Yeah.
And well, it's Curious Case of Benjamin Button. We had what was it, Howl's Moving Castle,
Mhm.
We Bought a Zoo, and The Secret Garden, which is one that
Yeah,
you
the
got
the
me.
'80s version. Because remember, there's
Or is it 80? Yeah,
multiple
it
versions.
was like one in the 60s, that one, and then there's just a new one that just recently came out. But
Mhm.
that one, which you were, I loved the fact that when you showed me that you were it was a very vulnerable part for my wife because it's her childhood movie, and
This.
we sat down and watched it. And it was one of those things where like every 5 seconds you're like, do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? And I'm like, let me watch the movie. And I'm like, but I ended up loving it. I got the soundtrack for you, and that became one of
Mhm.
our main themes. It was actually when we walked out after our vows and everything, we
Mhm.
walked away with that song.
Yeah.
And so it was a very pivotal point for us. But I think going back to even to the Curious Case of Benjamin Button, it's this idea of like this guy who's aging backwards
Mhm.
and he starts life is old and then he becomes young.
Yeah.
It's this theme of time, aging, and choosing how we live through all our seasons, which again tied
Mhm.
to our marriage of going through different seasons and different levels of our relationship.
Well, and also the age difference.
Yeah, I mean 7 years.
7.5 years.
Yeah, she's a cradle robber, so it's okay. But it's and I think also loving each other through all those seasons because we should
Yes.
be evolving and growing. Everyone
Yeah.
should be evolving and growing. And if you're not, that could be a part of the reason why your marriage is not doing the way it is. The biggest thing that I see with most people is the initial love phase that like I want to know everything about you, everything you're
Yeah.
doing, and you're so glued.
Yes.
That starts to fade as you get to know each
It
other,
does.
and you have to adapts your relationship to the newer version of
Yeah.
yourself. And I think people struggle with that adaptation. They love
Mm.
the initial intimacy, and you have to maintain that and grow from that.
Yeah.
It's very important.
We're constantly evolving and changing.
Yes.
You know, no matter if you're initiating it or if you're having outside factors do that for you.
Yes.
But I think you and I have, had such a strong rooted partnership and friendship from the beginning. And, those struggles are what, kept us together because we're like, we can get through this together.
Well, and the fact that we really do like a lot of the same things. And I think
Yeah, we do.
for me, I honestly think the thing that makes a relationship last is you're my best friend.
Yes, you are
We
my
like
best
a lot of the
friend.
same movies, a lot of the same
Yes.
music. We like going to the same restaurants and same, like, it's very much, but you also have things like you have your gardening. I'll
Mhm.
have like my IT stuff or games, video games and different things or
Yeah.
whatever. And so, or a big one was reading,
Uh-huh.
which another thing I got you back
Oh,
into
yeah.
because one of our first dates we ever went to was going to see Girl with the Dragon
Oh, I
Tattoo.
love that movie.
God, and Trent Reznor and the soundtrack is
Oh, it's so
killer.
great.
And I remember when we went and saw that movie, you were so glued and enamored by the story and the script. I'm
Mhm.
like, I have to get this for you. So I got you the book.
Yeah.
Every book I've ever gotten her, I've always written a little note in the book.
Yes, because you're a romantic.
Of course. And I always have a quote in there. Usually, and I try to tie the quote, from greater minds even than myself. And I try to apply that to maybe something that you can get out of this experience.
Mhm.
You got the book, you started reading it, and I remember you were doing a little bit here and there. You're reading a little bit more. You come over, we read a couple pages, but then you called me at like 2 a.m. one day, and you were
I
at
finished it.
you
I finished the
book,
first one out of the trilogy.
and you're like, I need the second book. I need it. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
Got you the second book, and then it was boom, boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, and you
I read it all in one summer, the trilogy, all in one summer, and it was the first time I had ever read not just
trilogy.
a book, but a whole trilogy
Mhm.
in a summertime. So like within a 4-month period.
And when I think now, because reading is a huge part of our lives, whether it's
Mhm.
a self-help book or it's fantasy fiction, whatever realm you want to
Yeah.
go into,
Yeah.
I think I mean, for even me personally and for you, I have like probably 8 or 9 different books I'm reading at one time right now. Like same
I
for
know.
you.
Well, you are reading physical books and you're also doing
Audiobooks.
audiobooks, which is incredible. I started Red Rising because when I'm
So good.
traveling, I know, because when I'm traveling on the road, like when I'm driving to Grand Rapids for Little Saints or for Mrs. Vino, I'm like, all right, I'm going to put this on, and I love it. I have the dramatic version. But yeah, you definitely did get me into reading. I read so many more books than I ever had possibly imagined
Mhm.
in my entire life. And then I mean, my God, when I tell people that you read like 20 or 30 books and like some of them are audio, but some of them are hard copies, I'm like, every year.
Yeah, I think last year it was around 38 to 40
Oh
books.
my gosh, are you a college professor? What's
No.
going on?
But again, it's a mix. And I think this is very, very important because everyone always talks about, or at least for guys,
Mm,
guys generally are very, again, analytical.
yes.
So it's very much self-help books,
Mhm.
whatever that may be.
How can I make more money? What
Yes.
do I invest in? How do I fix this car?
And that's important. But I would say getting into whether it's fiction,
Oh,
fantasy,
yeah.
sci-fi, whatever, the thing I like about those genres is that there has to be a higher level of imagination involved,
Mm,
because you have to, from the words, create this world in your head, these characters in your head, because it's something that's not rooted in this reality.
yes.
And it becomes to have you more creative, and you're also putting yourself in shoes of somebody else with a different perspective, different
Mhm.
thought process. So it's helped me think of things in a different light, which again
Yeah.
goes back to the marriage part of how you think of things, how you handle things.
Mhm.
And that's very, very important, I think, for most people to understand, is you need to look at things from others' perspectives. Everyone has this thing of, this person doesn't see the thing or the way I see it, or why do they do these things, or why do they make this decision? And I think the smarter route is to understand that if you lived in their shoes and you had the same experiences, same tribulations and trials and everything like that, you may end up making the same decisions that they made.
Right.
So it shifts, because of course you're going to have your decision based off your reality,
Yeah. Or
but
your
yeah,
opinions.
but they didn't have
Mhm.
that same experience, so that's
Mhm.
very important.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think for men, it's very important to explore topics and books and things that you have, because just read even 10 minutes a day.
Yep.
If you read 10 minutes a day, it doesn't seem like much at that one day, but as a week, a month, a
I
year,
know.
it compounds, and you are that much more ahead than the person that's not reading or not
Yeah.
doing that. And
Yeah.
so, and that again, Another big part would be YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If no one, I mean, who the hell isn't on YouTube nowadays? But it's literally a free university
It
if you really
is.
want it to
Yeah,
be.
YouTube University.
Yep. You can
Mm-hmm.
apply and go after different skills and different, honestly, any topic that you want, and you can go into huge depth and you can change your life based off the things you're applying to. And now with the advancements of AI and the LLMs of like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you want to use,
Claude.
I prefer Claude too.
Claude.
Yeah, that's the tech side of me that prefers it.
Yep.
But
That's my old IT side
yep,
and my IT professor over
she's
here.
she's learning very well, and I would say that you really can learn anything. Like I can literally have a broken furnace, take photos of it, chat with it, and fix it myself.
Isn't that incredible?
It's crazy, and we're literally at the infancy stages of
Yeah.
it. But it also comes down to what's the version of you want to be. Prompt it and say, I want to become the CEO of blah 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 company, or I want to be the first female gymnast that does X, Y, whatever it may be. It'll write out a prompt for you and a set of instructions and guides on how to get to that point, and you
Mm-hmm.
can tweak it along the way. And like I'm showing you, you tweak it to your personality and how you learn and how you react. And I think this is the problem with a lot of different schooling, is that they keep you hear schooling that they're bashing AI, that it's making kids dumber and not attentive. And there may be some truth to that. But I think if we apply it to where if a kid loves soccer and wants to learn mathematics,
Uh-huh.
frame the learning around soccer
Yep.
and mathematics.
You have to use the technology. So technology, just as, I mean, even going back to the assembly line, right?
Yep.
Coming back to Detroit, which is where we're at, Detroit, utilizing that new technology. You have to harness it, you have to use it. It just depends on how you use it. Use it correctly, use it
Yes.
well, use it to benefit and do something positive.
What's the intention?
Yeah, what's the intent? Again, yeah, it all comes down to intention.
And again, streaming back to Valentine's Day, I guarantee for any of the men out there, if you're trying to woo your woman, get into poetry. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the best book you could ever get into, and this is a great thing, is Walt Whitman.
Yeah.
Or go into the classics and learn from them and start creating your own poems. And if you wrote even just the most simplistic poem and it seems dumb, it probably will to you, but I guarantee you your partner is going to be like, oh my God, he's trying, he's being creative, he's being romantic,
Yeah.
he's being loving. It's much better than a cheap Hallmark card. I'm sorry. It's much better.
Yeah. Well, not everybody is as creative and romantic as you are, Logan. You have something just innate in you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm a lucky lady.
Well, we both are. And I think
you're a lucky lady too.
Oh yeah, I'm a lucky lady. But I think again, it's a simple fact that we take the things that we love, film, music, reading, all these, and we apply it to not only ourselves, but then to each other. We share books, we share music, and that gives us a space to be creative and fun. And it advances us to be, or I guess, rekindling that spice every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
And doing more of that.
Well, yeah, because just recently, I mean, think about this, when we went to see Carlson, that was the first, like EDM, dance, techno concert that we had ever been to. And it wasn't just the music, it was the lights, it was the vibrations, it was the energy of the people. Like that's something that we had never done together in 13, 14 years together.
Yes.
So that was something new. Some other new things, like part of my job is, going to all these beautiful, beautiful restaurants and even some of the small, mom and pop places too that are just diners. But me being able to explore some of these places and be like, ooh, I'm gonna take Logan here, or hey, I'm gonna bring, or look what I brought home for you, honey. It's perfect for the air fryer.
Yes.
And that's like another thing, like, we have an air fryer. Thank you, Ahmed. So exploring and doing new things, even if it's something small, like an air fryer, or something big, like new music.
For example, again, you love to cook.
I do.
I am not a cook. I can cook chicken and rice. I have like my staples that I can make.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
But the one thing I do well is baking.
Yes. Oh
but
yeah, you were a incredible baker.
but the fact that I
Because
like
it's analytical.
it's very
And
precise measurements. It's
no,
everything's
that's not how I cook. I'm
I
Italian. I just, a pinch of this, a spoonful of that. Well, how big's the spoon, Kristen? I don't know. It's one of my spoons.
my stress is rising already. Nope, can't do it. But as I got into the baking, I also pulled in part of myself, which is the fitness side of things.
Yeah.
And so I was doing
Sugar-free,
sugar-free,
gluten-free.
gluten-free, different
Yeah.
things. And it didn't always work out, but it ended up working out. Like I tried to make cinnamon rolls one time and didn't let it rise properly, and all these things happened. So it ended up being like these muffins or something like
They
that.
were so good.
They were really good.
They were
I
killer.
was very proud of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can recreate it because it was an accident. So.
Just mess up the recipe again somehow.
Yeah, or maybe I'll come up with something new. Who knows? But again, I took something that you loved and I took a part of myself and I applied it and I gave it something back and
Yeah.
vice versa. But that's again, your thing is you are a chef and I am
thank
blessed in
you.
the aspect that I get to try these amazing things that you make and you do.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly, because I mean, you've been cooking for how many years now?
I don't know. It all stems from my grandma and then my opa. So my grandma on my mom's side, so my mom's mom, and then my dad's dad, opa. They always cooked scratch made stuff for me, or like opa would give me really weird stuff that no child would like pickled herring. I know you don't like.
Oh
I know.
God,
Oh wow,
no.
look at your face. I love pickled herring and onions. I was first exposed to that probably when I was 5 and I fell in love. And then liverwurst sausage, butter and saltine crackers. I know people are like, that is not cooking. That's
You
stuff that
80
you
years
open.
old?
Oh, I was like 5. But grandpa he would make me scratch made pancakes in the shape of a K. So I got to learn how to make pancakes when I was really young. And then Grandma Chicken, being Italian, she cooked everything from scratch.
Yeah.
So my mom knew how to cook from her mom. And then my dad, he's very intuitive with his cooking
Very
too.
much, yes.
He's great. Remember that seafood stew that he made?
Oh, the gumbo.
All day long he cooked it. I'm excited to give him that oxtail that we got from your parents from that farm out in Fowlerville.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. But yeah, I love cooking. I've just learned, and all of the chefs that I interact with, I ask them, I'm like, how do you make this? It's like, I'm obviously not classically trained. I intuitively cook.
Because you have a passion for it.
Oh yeah.
And
then pairing it with wines. Oh my gosh,
well,
that's one of my
Mrs. Vino,
favorite
yep.
things to do.
Culture, curated dinners and experiences and
Yes.
everything, Chef Matt and all that, of course. And this again goes back to the point though of to be successful in your relationship, you need to bring the best of your partner out and also bring the best of yourself out and then trying to bridge those two together.
Yeah.
That's very important. So I think if anybody can take a lesson from this, it's find the things that your significant other loves to do and things that you like to do, and how can you bridge that gap? How can you intertwine it, or give space for both each other? If I love to do the music side of things, I'll play you different songs and stuff, and then you're giving me the energy and love that you're focused on me, or like I have so much love and respect that I'm grateful that you love it as much as you do, because that's a huge part of my life. And the fact that you like it as much as you do, and then you will go off on your own and do your own playlists and your own stuff. So those are very important things that I think are key to making things last and making things grow and evolve over time, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
So honestly, I think really for us, it's the constantly showing up for each other, constantly being there, and constantly doing things that, I don't know. It's a constant evolution that we need to keep going and growing and building upon. And for anyone that's struggling with the relationship, really ask yourself, when was the last time you thought of your partner and what they want and what they like to do? Have you actually given them the time to listen and say, like, asking about their day and what they're into? And, maybe they found a new hobby that they're into. Give them the space to say, tell me about it. What were you doing? What was going on with it? Versus like me, that's only going to, giving back to the other person is only going to give and receive more energy.
Yeah.
But it has to be both.
Yeah. It has to be a recycling of energy.
Yes, very much so. And would you say that what would you say is the one thing that from you to me, like from something that I do, that you are very grateful for, that you were surprised about maybe, or that you that's something, maybe something that I've done that you can apply to your own life that has been beneficial?
Oh my gosh. Well, you're inspiring just as an individual, just
Oh,
with
thank you.
well, with your routine of physical fitness, your eating, your supplements. I'm so horrible about my
You
supplements,
need to
you
get better at
guys.
that. You really do.
Speaking of self-love, I need to love myself more and start swallowing more pills. I mean supplements, guys, not anything nefarious.
Different medicines,
Um,
yeah.
but no, yeah, your routines, honestly, like when I see you taking your supplements, I'm like, "Oh, all right, I guess I'll take my probiotic. I'll take my multivitamin. I am a cougar. I'm older. I need to start taking care of my body more
Well,
with my micronutrients.
and I do help you with that too. Or like,
You
I'll give you
do.
the sleep
Yeah,
supplements
you
and stuff.
do.
So like, because if you don't take it, you're not taking
I
it.
know. Or like when when I'm out and I'm not going to be home, when you're going to bed or something, you always have sleep supplements ready for me.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's something that you do that I'm proud of you for doing, and I take that and I'm like, oh, I need to, you know, really get better about, you know, my supplements.
Well, and I'd say for me to you, the thing that I love about you is you're always pushing me to become better. That you have this unyielding faith in me,
Oh, yes.
and even when times when I don't have it for myself,
Mm,
and you're always pushing me to become better, and you see the signs of things that I'm good at or that I'm interested in, and
mhm.
you double down on it. And for me, that's forever something that I'm grateful for, because
Yeah.
it pushes me to become better, because I want to be the best man for you and the best
Oh,
husband for
thanks,
you.
baby.
It's important to me.
Oh, now my answer sounds stupid because
I
I was
love your
talking about
answer.
supplements.
No, that's a big part of my life. I mean, I rep for a supplement company, Axe and Sledge, and
That's true.
I,
That's true. Thank God we have that.
yep.
Saves on the bills of supplements. No, you and the same with you. You always know what it is. You know me so well that you know what my passions are, what my driving forces are, and supporting me in that.
Hmm.
My love for wine, my love for food, my love for cooking, knowing, you always are like, you are such an energetic force and people love being around you, because there's times where I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to talk to anyone. And you're like, Kristen, just get out there and you're gonna feel great when you come back. And I do. Like today I was out in Brighton and I was amped up to go, but there's some days where I'm like, I just don't want to really go meet new people. But that's what I do love doing. But I guess I just don't like doing it alone. But I have to do it alone, and that's okay because I get to come home and share those stories with you. I get to share leftovers with you. I get to share, some of the cool like pictures and architecture, like that model Ford T fire
Oh,
hydrant
yeah.
that because I was at Domino Farms, took that picture because I knew that you would love it.
Hmm.
So just coming home and sharing those stories. So yeah, just you constantly supporting me and knowing how good I am and what my passions are and my strengths are, and just reminding me like, hey, people like being around you.
Yeah.
You make them feel seen, wanted, heard,
Well,
loved.
and that again comes down to we're giving each other time. You have to have space for each other. So even
Mhm.
if it's a few minutes at the end of the day, how was your day? What's going on?
Mhm.
Having that communication is important.
Mhm.
And also giving a space of understanding that, I'm constantly pushing and growing, and there's going to be times where I'm down and you're up and you're up and I'm down, and I'm going to give you the energy that you need and vice versa, or we're both down and we're just going to sit and watch a movie and just not do anything. That's the simplest thing we can do.
Yeah.
And so everyone needs to really start looking at their life, looking at the relationship, and start saying, what are the things that I'm doing to better myself? What is she doing to better herself? And then how
Mhm.
can we come together? A simple thing too is, you know, it's kind of old school nowadays, but having dinner together, sit down
Yeah.
dinners,
I know, that's why I keep the dinner table clean.
it has to be clear, because
Clear.
that's, you think, especially if you have children and kids, asking your kids about their day, what's going on.
Mhm.
And even for us, that's where we sit down and really have a good time. And it's something that can add that romance and that time where if you're just sitting watching TV, you're not looking at each other.
Yeah.
You're off on a different, something else is giving you attention and energy. And
Yeah.
it's not always the best thing for you.
Yeah. Well, even in the morning, we have our morning discussions after I've had my quiet time.
Yep.
alone like a child because I need quiet. But yeah, we have like our morning discussions, and then yeah, in the evening it's, how was your day? How are things? What's the energy like? There's some days where we just want to sit and talk, and then there's other days where it's like, all right, what movie are we watching?
Yep.
And we're gonna go to bed early.
So I think that's for everyone listening, that could be one thing. One thing you should try and do, at least for this Valentine's Day, is really do one thing that deepens your connection.
Mm,
And it doesn't always have to be romantic. It could be something that is just a passion of the other person or just having the conversation.
yeah.
So do one thing with your partner that can really deepen that. And also in those times when you have, like, let's say like a deep conversation, be vulnerable, be
Mm-hmm.
honest. If you're struggling with something, if you're not having, maybe the strength or fortitude to like deal with a stressful person at work or a project you're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
or like if I'm doing Instagram videos or something like that, I'm not, does this look good? Am I talking right? Am I doing well?
Yeah.
I want that feedback, and
Yeah.
knowing, like, I want honest feedback with it.
Yep.
So having real conversation is going to be really key with your partner. And also, we do this together too. We have our journal that we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Our couples
our
journal.
couples journal. Yeah, we go through and we talk about, or it has different like topics and questions. What was the best vacation you ever took, or what's your dream home like? And it's always curious to see what your answer is, what my answer is. Do we actually
Yeah.
align? And a lot of times we do align, but
Yeah, we do.
there's other times where we are completely different ends of the spectrum, and that's okay. But we're having that time to give back to one another, and I think, again, it's something that can take you 10 minutes and it can
Yeah.
make a huge shift, compounding over time.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to those. And what I would recommend is music is key to any relationship. Everyone has their style of music, but
Mm-hmm.
having, like, we have our music game, or we listen to movie scores. That's
Mm-hmm.
a deep part of not only us watching movies together, but it's also going into depth of, this came out at this year, and oh, what were we doing that year? And I was born
Mm-hmm.
this year and I was doing this. So I think it's very, very important that you have those kind of moments. So I think for Valentine's Day, be creative, do
Yeah.
something different, maybe hone in on your strength of your passions that you like and vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
and then come together and show the other person what you can do. It's
Yeah.
very important.
So you're
So
gonna bake for me?
I will attempt at baking, yes. And for anybody listen to, whatever you guys decide to do, we'd love to hear about it. DM, comment on this, and let us know what's the one thing that has made your marriage last. What's the spicy things that your significant other does that really adds to the romantic side of things, especially as time has gone on, and trying to maintain that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I found that from the marriages and relationships that have lasted the longest, some of the things that people do in their relationships give us inspiration and
Yeah.
give us, ideas that we can work on ourselves.
Yeah. And then also self-love too, for individuals who aren't married or aren't in a relationship, self-love. How do you practice self-love? For me, I love going to the chiropractor and getting a massage a couple times a month. I mean, that's great for me, and the sauna. And then just one quick little plug. So anybody who's looking for a podcast studio and an amazing producer, Podcast Your Voice is in Southfield, Michigan. And Jamie Flanagan is the podcast producer here. He is on Irish Radio, Animal Talk, Man Cave Happy Hour, which you may recognize me from. So yeah, Podcast Your Voice Studios here in Southfield. Mr. Flanagan is also a teacher, and he will take care of whatever type of podcast you're looking to do. So you too can be a podcast star at Podcast Your Voice.
And for future episodes that we're going to have coming up, we're going to go over things like fitness, biohacking,
Mm-hmm.
protocols that have changed our lives, spirituality, deep dives and practices that we actually use and do. These
Mm-hmm.
aren't just things that we've read about, we've actually applied them, and we'll show you the benefits that we've gone through and discussing them in depth and detail.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you all there. And we thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, Logan Carlson. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Kristen Carlson. I love you.
I love you.